Hello there. Hi everybody, my name is Kurt Farrell, and believe it or not, this has been requested. And you know what? I am a man of the people. The people demand, and I provide. This is the first ever episode of what could be a very long and prosperous YouTube cooking series. It could be the first and only ever episode of a YouTube series that everybody hates and I just don't make more videos. But there's only one way to find out, and we're going to go ahead and get started by cooking something that's very special to me, which is chicken parm. Let's get started. First step, we are going to get all of our necessary equipment, including any PPE. Affix your apron. We're going to get started by gathering everything that we need to make a very basic pasta dough. Pasta dough, my basic rule for it is you want 100 grams of all-purpose flour and 1 egg for every serving that you're making. So we're going to make 2 servings. It's going to be 200 grams of all-purpose flour, or probably about 1.6 cups, and 2 eggs. Perfect, 202 grams, that's perfectly fine. We like our pasta a little extra stiff, don't we? I'm gonna crack in a couple of eggs. Beautiful, look at that. That's the starting of any basic dough right there. Paddle, affix your paddle. What we're gonna do to get started, remember we don't have a dough yet, we just have flour and eggs. So we want to get these guys mixed up good and good. So affix your paddle. And on the mix setting, after we lock this in and plug this in, you want to get these mixed up. And if you don't have a stand mixer, you should consider getting one first of all. And if you don't have a stand mixer, just mix it up in a bowl until you get your dough to like the consistency that you want, It should be dough. It should be dough-like. It should hold together. And then we're going to need this once we're done mixing it. We are going to need it. And there's a conversion usually about every 2 minutes on a 2 setting in your KitchenAid mixer. It's about 10 minutes worth of kneading by hand. So get yourself a KitchenAid mixer, but if not, just do the math, Check it out. She's getting to like the consistency of wet sand. That's good. We might have to add a little bit, like I got like a little egg white we might be able to add to this or something, or maybe just a little water to bring it together. But that's what you're looking for. You want it to get nice and mixed up. So it's actually coming together quite nicely. See, it's actually bumping up real good. I was debating throwing like a little extra egg white in there, but I'm just gonna take a shot glass. I'm gonna just like drizzle a little extra water in, and I think that that's gonna come together just fine. Look at that. Just a little extra water. It's coming together. All right, so we just threw a little extra water in there. And look, it came together nicely. But look, we're going to need to stop our KitchenAid mixer. Or if you're not using a KitchenAid mixer, you want to turn it out onto a floured surface and start kneading it. Because, yeah, we're going to take this dough. Doesn't look like much, but this is going to turn into a lot of pasta, believe it or not. 2 servings easily and probably some leftovers. We want to get it into a ball. And then now we want to switch over to our dough hook because we are going to start kneading. Go ahead and lock it on. Maybe just like sprinkle, it doesn't get like stuck to the edges because you don't want it to like, just a little bit for like the edges of the bowl, right? Because we need a floured surface to knead it no matter what. Whoa. And try to work your way up to the 2 setting. Start off slow. Make sure she's locked down too. Let her go to work. It's looking good. We're going to do that for 2 to 4 minutes. You want to work your way up to the 2 setting. By the end of this 2 to 4 minute period, and then we're going to turn it out, or we're just going to check it, and we're going to do a quick like mid-knead assessment, see if we need to add any more flour, any more water, depending on if it's like not the consistency we want. Is it too dry? Is it too wet? So we're going to do that check in a minute here. It has been about 3 minutes now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this down, and the consistency is looking pretty good, but I'm just going to like pull it off the hook and lay it down so it just like gets well kneaded, like what we want is like it to just not be wrapped around the hook the entire time, and for it to let go, turn over, that kind of thing. Now we're going to knead it for another 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to do 2 minutes because I'm liking the consistency. I'm liking where this is going. I think I might put just a little drip more water in there, but I think we're good to go. I think this is looking good. So look, this is it. We're kneading it now. We're kneading this dough in the KitchenAid. If you're not using a KitchenAid, you're probably doing this for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to knead this dough real good. It's going to be tough. It's a tough dough. I think I said, what did I do? 3 minutes to start. I'm finishing off with 2. Yeah, so about 5. You probably want 4 to 6 minutes of total knead time, depending on how your dough is looking. So we'll have 5 minutes by the time we're done with this. Timer's running. We're just going to let it roll. And then we'll have to keep kneading. This is it. This is our well-kneaded dough. That's the end of our knead. Turn it down and turn it out. Turn it out onto your, what should be a well-floured surface. Not well-floured, but just like enough so it's not going to stick. This is it. Now, I know we just kneaded it really well with the KitchenAid mixer, but I mean, come on, you're not going to knead this a couple of times by hand, right? You have to do it a couple of times by hand just to feel like you're making pasta, right? Oh yeah, feel the pasta dough. There we go. Wrap this up real good. Doesn't matter. Doesn't need to be pretty. Just get it wrapped up good and good. Just like that. In the fridge she goes, 30 minutes. Set your timer, but don't be thinking that you're getting a break because we got a lot of stuff to do. Do a quick little cleanup, but you know what? We're gonna need our KitchenAid mixer for several things coming up. So get your KitchenAid just kind of reset here. Take the dough hook off, take your bowl, put away your dough ingredients. We'll need eggs later, but not for a little while yet. Flour can go away. Plastic wrap, trash can go trash. All right, my workstation is reset here. I'm gonna get out another piece of machinery that I do think you really need, but you can work without. The food processor. If you don't have a food processor, that's fine. You either need a blender or you're just gonna simmer it and chop up your ingredients as you go and end up with a little bit of a chunkier sauce, but it depends on how well you blend it in the bowl. Wipe down your food processor. Nobody likes a dirty processor. Basil, oregano, onion powder. 28-ounce can of San Marzano or San Marzano style tomatoes. San Marzano style are a fraction of the cost and 90% is good. So that's why I get the San Marzano style. About a teaspoon, tablespoon, sure, of tomato paste. About a tablespoon. I'm eyeballing all this because I always eyeball this. But about a tablespoon, probably each, maybe a teaspoon. Onion powder. Tablespoon. Basil. Whoop. Maybe a little more if you're a little heavy-handed like I am today, apparently. You really don't need to kill this. Just get it pulsed good and good. Don't get too much oxygen into the sauce. Just get it well blended and combined. And then we're gonna let this simmer. And add some salt and pepper. All right, so I added about a tablespoon each of salt and pepper. And stir it up. I'm going to set this on the single burner down to 2, down to low, and just let this cook and simmer while we do the rest of all of our shenanigans here today. But yeah, see, this is what you want. You want, pasta sauce, a little bit watery pasta sauce consistency because it's still going to cook down, remember. We're going to let it simmer, but that's already looking beautiful. All right, so we have our pasta sauce on the stove. It is going to start simmering at some point, and we got about 12 minutes to kill. So let's take a minute to talk about what is it that makes a chicken parm good, in my opinion. And that's what we're doing today is we are focusing on what makes chicken parm good. which in my opinion is really just comes down to really good ingredients. You got to get really good ingredients. You got to get really good pasta. It's a simple thing, right? It's pasta with a piece of crispy chicken on it, right? So get really good pasta. Fine tune the flavors that you like in your pasta sauce. Like today, we're just making a really basic one, but we're going to fine tune, the boldness by, adding some spices to taste later on in the cook today. And then we're going to focus on a really good chicken parm, which we're just going to bread and kind of like lightly fry ourselves. And then the cheese. You got to get good cheese, and I like to use, we'll get there in a minute, but I like to do something a little special for the cheese. And I think it just makes like a beautiful blend of just like truly good, but simple flavors that come together. Get a really crunchy chicken breast on top of some really good pasta with some really good pasta sauce. It's a simple, but bold thing, right? Hank, come say hi. Come say hi. There he is. Say hi to the camera. Say hi to the people. Sauce is heating up. It's already a beautiful consistency. We are just going to let this simmer, let it cook down a little bit more on a low setting. So now you have to say hi.
Hello.
We're waiting, still waiting. Look at how efficient I am. I got it done with enough time to spare for you and Hank to say hi and to have a beer. So yeah, look at that time efficiency so far. Yeah, not even that bad of a mess, right? All right, we got about 30 seconds left on our dough in the fridge. And I actually spoke an invalid truth earlier. I was wrong to say that we will not need the flour again, because we do. I did not lie to you. I just believed an invalid truth, right? We do need the flour again because we're going to want to flour up this surface for our dough. And, inevitably our noodles, right? Retrieve your dough. Turn it out onto a well-floured surface. And then remember how many servings we made? We made 2. So you want to divide this ball into 2. I like to roll them out according to the serving size. So if you had made 4 servings, you would take the ball that you made for 4 servings and cut it into 4 pieces. Retrieve your needed equipment, which is a rolling pin and some sort of cutting device. You can use a knife if you don't have one of these things. Just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. You can weigh this too if you want to get exact sizes, but it doesn't really matter for me because it's all going into one batch. And yeah. So yet again, let's talk conversions here, because what if you don't have, pasta rollers and a KitchenAid mixer, right? The old-fashioned way to do it is you're just going to roll this out until it's like literally the thickness of paper. You're just going to roll it out way more than I am. What I'm doing is I'm just getting this started. And you can't put like a big glob into this thing. Otherwise, it's just going to press and rip it to pieces, and kind of just like crush it through. So you got to get it started. You got to get it nice and thin. Anyway, so as I was saying, I just rearranged my devices here to make things a little bit better. You just want to get these to thin enough so they don't get crushed when you're rolling them through. I'm going to do that for the other one here. Rearrange my stuff so you can see a little bit better. And you're going to want to go like lengthwise with these too. Like you don't want to roll them out like a pizza. You want to roll them out, long ways, because that's what you're making. It's like long noodles, right? I was saying I've got this on 8 right now. Lock it in. Start off on the lowest setting, lowest speed. Not bad. This is what we got coming up through on the other side. And then check it out, you're just gonna do it again. You're just gonna take your time with this. I like to do 2 on one setting before I move it down a little bit, right? Like I said, I'm on 8. So we're just rolling it through at like the thickest setting that my roller can do. And now I think I'm gonna bump it down to 7. Take your time with this. It's worth the wait. But you can turn it up to 2 and get it going a little bit once you get a groove on, right? Which we have. Beautiful pasta dough right here. This is beautiful. Ooh. It should be nice and like, you know, I don't want to say tough, but it should be like, you know, you can tell like it's just firm, I guess. Like it's gonna hold together nicely. That's 7. Now I'll go down to 5. Skip 6 because I think we're doing well here. Look at this. Already on 5. Look how thin that is. That's the thinness that you're. You know, we're gonna go a little bit thinner than that because we're making. Might just want to end down at like 4, I think, on the next setting. Because we're gonna make some spaghetti, maybe 3. Let's go to 3. Spaghetti is gonna be small, you know. I usually make Alfredo, so I think that's why I get it nice and skinny. Let's go down to 3. That should be nice. Nice. Look at that. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah, just let that beautiful pasta dough just slide right through. Look, it's getting a little thick now too. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. Cut that. You know, eyeball it down the middle. Boom. You know, we're going to be making these into noodles, right? So like you want to be thinking about like how, you know, thick you want your noodles. I try to pull the ends a little bit apart, but I usually find it just doesn't end up making a big difference. Like, do you ever notice when you're eating pasta, like, ooh, this noodle is slightly shorter than the other one, you know? Because that's all that's really going to happen is you're just going to get noodles this way. Get them laid down. But yeah, you know, if you can and if you want to, try to you know, square off these ends here. I like to try to do it a little bit, right? All right, just so they don't stick, let's set these to the side. Let's set these pasta in sheets. Let's call them sheets. To the sides, so that way we can get this other piece of dough working. So now I'm going to get this flattened out again. And look at that, beautiful. Much better. Look at that, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Repeat. And I think that ought to do it. It's definitely long enough. Oh yeah, there we go. And there it is. There's our pasta. So I like to flour the plate a little bit. And then let's see how one of these comes out. There we go. The flour. You know, keep them from sticking together. There you go. Beautiful pasta. Look at all this. Oh, look at that. Little flour, yeah, just a little flour on your fingers. Just get like the tiniest bit of flour onto these things. And quit tossing your hands. Beautiful. Okay, well, we'll just do it that way. This one was being a little. This one was being a little stubborn with me. I'm getting it into the pasta roller, so a little smush, but okay. Pasta's looking good. Pasta's looking good. See if this one is gonna go through without giving me a fuss. Oh really? We're gonna have to do this end again too? Yeah, we are. Oh good. Oh good, we got it. Oh. A little squished. Little folded, but that's okay. Here's our pasta. Here is our pasta. Look at that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful pasta. Yep. Keep it from sticking together. Again, just a little bit of, I just put a little bit of flour on my fingers, like this, and I just kind of give it a quick toss. You know, you don't want these like floured flour, but you just like, you want a little bit in there to just, that's going to wash off when they get in the pot. When the nudes get in the pot, and boom, there's your spaghetti. Our KitchenAid stand mixer has performed admirably for us. But what we must do now is assign her one more task before we put this valiant machine away for the day. We must grate a little bit of mozzarella with our grater attachment. Self-explanatory. If you don't have a KitchenAid stand mixer, grate your cheese. At this time, I do believe it to be true that you can put the flour away. I don't think we need it again. Our pasta sauce, marinara sauce, whatever you want to call it, beautiful. Don't splatter it though. Trying to show off the texture, but looking good. Cut your cheese. Cut it again, I guess. Begin your cheese grating process with all of the proper cheese grating protective equipment. Please do not shortchange yourself on this. A very necessary piece of equipment. Freshly grated mozzarella. Remember what we talked about earlier? Really good ingredients? Freshly grated mozzarella makes a huge difference. Alright, I'm only going to do half this because this is way more than I think I really need. But we'll definitely keep all the grated freshly ground mozzarella. It will not go to waste, whether we use it for leftovers or not. But come on, like, look at these ingredients we're making here. This is mozzarella. This looks like it's like a pile of like white, fluffy, beautiful rice. No, this is freshly grated mozzarella. And this is freshly made pasta. Come on. This is gonna be so good. Our KitchenAid stand mixer has performed admirably for the evening, for the afternoon, for the morning, wherever you are watching this. Our KitchenAid stand mixer, nonetheless, has performed admirably, and it is time to put her away for the evening, for the day, for whenever. She's done. She's done her work. This is where the fun begins. This is where we make the chicken parm part of this chicken parm recipe. Remember? Remember chicken parm? Remember that part of it? That's what we're about to start making. No, this isn't pasta. This isn't pasta with red sauce. This is a chicken parm recipe. Now is when we're going to start making the chicken parm part. And I was wrong yet again. We do need our all-purpose flour. We also need some breadcrumbs because we are about to make a breading. And before you handle your chicken, you want to get like as many things prepared as possible. I got my 2 eggs here. I'm going to make that in a minute. I also got, a pre-cut piece of plastic wrap, the tenderizer, the knife, a wired rack to set the finished breaded chicken on. And I think we're ready to go by making a really basic breading here. So start off with like quarter cup. Waste not, so start with a quarter cup. If you need to make a little more, that's no problem. But you can't make less because chicken is going to be touching it. About a quarter cup each of flour and breadcrumbs. Half a teaspoon each of basil, oregano, cilantro, paprika, salt, and pepper into the breading. And then a hefty helping. I like putting this in the breading. Make sure it's not all clumped up like it is right now. Hefty helping, a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon. Parmesan cheese into that breading. Yeah, that's what I said. Just take my, what is it? Half teaspoon. Stir that up good and good. I'm just gonna leave the flour in the background for the rest of this cook because like I keep thinking we're done with it, but we're not. I'm gonna crack 2 eggs into this other dish. Get your eggs good and beaten up. That's looking good. Nice watery scramble. Yeah. All right. Now we're ready to do our chicken. So let's just get into it. Take a big, thick chicken breast. And just cut it down the middle. Cut it just down the middle like that. So you get 2, fairly equal in thickness pieces. Wash our hands before you do anything. Now, if you don't have a meat tenderizer, remember how I was drinking a beer earlier? These work pretty well too. But basically just, get them a little thinned out. You don't have to kill them, but just get you want to get it evenly thick. You just want them evenly thick, right? Like the ends of them, so you want to spend a little bit of time in the middle. Just like that. That's looking pretty good. So, I'm going to have one hand handle this spoon, one hand handle the chicken. You're bread it. Look at that, beautiful. And then yeah. Spin it on. Get it good and coated. Yeah. Go to your egg. Yeah, look at that. And then, it's all right. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty now. We're cooking here. This ain't kindergartners in the sandbox. Anyway, so now, we do our final breading. Watch this. Get it good and breaded. Yeah. Lay it down. Now here we go. Piece number 2. Ooh. Breading is going quick. Maybe I was wrong about that. I think that's just enough breading actually. It's a messy job now. Breading chicken is a messy job. Don't get me wrong. Never said that this was going to be a clean task. Let's go. That's a good amount of breading. It's spot on about that. There it is. That's it. That's the start of it. Time to wash our hands and clean up this chicken contaminated area. Take a break to do the dishes because after you do the dishes, it feels good to reward yourself with a beer. Job well done. You did the dishes. Now, remember this mozzarella cheese that we grated up? We're only going to use a small amount of that. So actually, I need a bag. reason I grated so much is because I want some grated cheese for tomorrow, actually. And I didn't want to have to dirty my KitchenAid stand mixer. Anyways, we'll leave that there. What we are going to do, though, is we're going to get some ricotta cheese. So, this is what I like doing. I like making like a cheese spread using grated mozzarella and ricotta. And it makes like, yeah, it just makes like a cheese spread instead of like, you know, a cheese slice. I like it because like, I just like it to be like a creamier kind of like spread, mozzarella-y, cheesy, stringy, delicious spread that also doesn't like slide right off of the chicken parm when you take a bite out of it, you know? So I'm gonna take, you know, what is that? About a half a cup. Half a cup. And then I'm just going to try to eyeball it and do half a cup of this too. Literally, that's it. I'm going to throw a little more mozz in there just because I think we can. Thicken it up a little bit. You should end up with is like this beautiful cheese spread that we're just going to spread on. It's still going to melt, but it's just like not going to be like a piece of mozzarella. Instead of a slice of mozzarella, we're going for like a mozzarella, like almost like cream cheese type consistency, you know? Let's preheat our oven to 425. Our sauce is looking absolutely delectable right there. Look at that. Wonderful, wonderful sauce. I actually turned the burner off for a little bit because it was looking good. I don't want to overcook it. I don't want to over simmer it and end up with a tomato sludge. So I get some canola oil or vegetable oil, whatever. And just like, I don't really, it depends on your pan, right? You probably want like, you know, maybe a quarter inch to a half inch of oil. You just want like a thick layer of oil on the bottom of your pan. You need a good pan for this. You want something with long, like thick sides, cast iron, something pretty heavy duty. I do the cast iron, but you can find, just as long as it's, you know, it's got something with some pretty high sides here. So you just want to get like, you know, just a thick layer of oil. We're going to pan fry it. So just, you know, pan fry depth. I'm going to have my lid handy here. I want some tongs. Get everything you need. So turn this up, medium-high heat. Set a timer for 2 minutes so we can do 2 minutes aside. So yeah, we're heating up the oven to 425. We set the timer to 2 minutes, and the reason we're doing that is we just want to get like the crispiness to the texture that we want. We want to get a nice golden brown, crispy, crunchy exterior, but we don't want to cook it too hot to the point where it burns, you know, it burns the oil. If we leave these chicken breasts in there for too long, the oil's just going to burn and we're going to get past the point of beautiful chicken parm and we're going to get to the point of black and burnt chicken. So you want to get the oven going because we're actually going to bake it. We also, at the same time, need to get our cheese nice and melty. So that's why we're heating this up. So don't worry about like cooking the chicken breasts all the way through when you put them in the pan. Just remember, we're going for color here. We will come back later to fully cook the chicken when we put it in the oven once it's got its cheese dressing on it. I just checked this oil with the thermometer. It was about 325 a minute ago, and it's been cranking since. So it's probably reading about 350 right now. But like basically, like when you put your hand down to it and go, oh, that oil is good and hot, that's when you know you're like probably pretty good to go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that nice fry. That's the kind of reaction you want to get. If your oil's too cold, you know, it's not going to get that like, you know, just frying, sizzling effect, right? The oil's too cold. And if that's the case, take it right out and just wait. You want it to hit the pan hot and get frying nicely there. I'm going to cover that up. Turn the heat up a little bit. This is probably cool down when we put those cold chicken breasts in there. And then start our timer for 2 minutes. Probably check on it in 1 minute. You know, just make sure that these things don't burn. That's all. Just don't make sure they don't go too far. Coming up on a minute here. Looks like it could use a little more heat. They're coming along. They definitely need another minute. Coming along. I think it could use a little more heat, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit more. Let's check on these. Flip them. Looking pretty good. Oh, a little dark. Turn it down. A little dark on one of them. It's probably just because it was closer to the center of the can, but that's all right. Looking all right. Looking all right. Give it about another minute. 2. Okay to check on him. Okay to check on him. Coming along, coming along. Maybe cut this one a little short. I went ahead and turned off the burner because these are almost done. We're going to pull them off in like 30 seconds, so no sense in giving it more heat. Because my pan at least holds heat really well, this cast iron does. And just you want to let it cool off anyways. Hot oil is not fun to just have sitting around in your house, so. Beautiful. Look at these. Yep. Another 30 seconds. Yeah. Come along beautifully here. Come along nicely, yeah. I think that should just about do them. I don't know if we want them to get any more color than that. I don't know if they, that was about another 2 minutes. Look at these beautiful, whoa! What a grab. Look at these beautiful things. All right, so these are reading about 130 degrees. That's fine. I'm gonna bake them after we apply our cheese spread. Before I do any of that, oven is still preheating, that's fine. Let's get some boiling water going so that way we can get our pasta cooked simultaneously. Water on the stove. All right, now let's do some cheesing. Yeah, like I said, these are reading at about 130 each. So I like to go ahead and just get a nice, big dollop of our cheese like spread on here. The only reason I don't like covering the whole thing with it is because you want to kind of like maintain the crispiness of the chicken, you know, the chicken breading that we just worked so hard to achieve. So I just like to get, yeah, there you go. Get a big old dollop of this beautiful cheese spread. It's gonna spread nicely and like come apart nicely when we try to eat it, but it's also like still gonna get melty, you know? So our oven is at 405. Let's just go ahead and slide these in. 10 minutes, we'll check on the internal temperature. Our oven is at the right temperature. Chicken is baking. It's already cooked, fried, lightly fried. Water is boiling, so my pasta is clumped up a little bit, but I find that it usually like comes apart fine during the cooking process. So just go ahead and throw it into your very boiling water. This pasta has only been cooking for like maybe like 3 minutes. I'm gonna pull it out because usually this does not need to cook for very long. It's good. Our timer just went off. I just checked the chicken. It was about 145, so let's give it another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes ought to do the trick in the oven. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get ready to strain this pasta. All right, now that we did some dishes and gave ourselves a congratulatory beer drink, strain your pasta. Oh, I'm off camera, aren't I? Sorry you missed that. You missed me straining the pasta. Very exciting part. Oh no, I'm not. I'm on camera. I'm still on camera. Y'all saw that. Let it sit for a little while. You see that? Oh, the window light. Oh, you can't see it. It's just heaven. That's why. It's heavenly light shining on the pasta as it drains here. All right. Drained enough. Beautiful pasta. Beautiful pasta right there. Ready to go. We got 2 minutes left on the timer, so let's see how our chicken's doing. Chicken parm is doing. Oh, we're at 167. 170. All right, so the official story, in summary, the synopsis of what we did is we took our chicken breast, we breaded it, we lightly fried it on each side for 2 minutes each side, 4 minutes total at 425 for a total of 18 minutes. That got us to right between 165 and 170. So if you're not using a meat thermometer like I am, use those guidelines and you should end up with a beautiful, look at this. It smells spectacular. It's beautiful, beautiful. All right, I think we're just about ready to plate up for this. So I washed my tongs, because remember, we use these tongs to take the chicken out of the pan, but the chicken wasn't fully cooked at that time. I believe that pasta should be tonged. So we're gonna get some pasta, hefty helpings, whoops. We're gonna get a good amount of pasta. Cooked pasta on each plate. Oops. Well, I'll eat a little bit more than here they go. Gonna get them good and plated up. I like to kind of make like a volcano. You know, not like a donut, not like there's an empty space in the middle of your plate, but just like know that that's where the chicken's gonna go. Our red sauce, I got it heating up again. Marinara, tomato sauce, whatever you want to call it. Oh, you know what? Let's use our tongs again, because we're going to take our beautiful chickens. Well, actually, I'm going to kind of guide it with my hand like this, because you don't want to take that cheese off the top, right? Chicken like that. So there's a reason why I put the chicken on before the sauce, and I'll tell you why. I don't like getting tons and tons of sauce on like the inside and underside of the chicken. I like to kind of go around. Whoop. I never said I was like really great at plating. I like to kind of go around it. So that way you maintain that crispiness, you know? That way, like, you know, your chicken on the underside doesn't get all soggy from the sauce. And then, you know, there's a little bit of sauce left over. Perfect amount of sauce. Whoops. Trying to do like, we're okay. We're good. Look at that. Look at that. Presentation is awesome, but taste is what matters. And you already know that this is going to taste delectable, don't you? There you have it. Chicken parm, something that's very special to me and delicious. Haley! Oh, yeah, we almost forgot. Most important part. A little bit of grated, well, yeah, I forgot to unclump it. Grated Parmesan on top. Wouldn't be a little chicken parm without a little grated Parmesan on top, right? Here we go. Okay, so try to get a little bit of sauce. I think some of the pasta. Mm-hmm. Ooh, smacks. There's just one word. There's one word for this. Smacks. Smacks. That's it. It passes the Haley test. 10 out of 10. I would eat it. You would eat it. Let's all admit it's bomb. Bomb.com. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we get to do this again sometime. I hope to see you again soon. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe. If you liked what you saw today, tell me why. If you didn't like it, tell me why. Just don't be a jerk about it. Look forward to seeing you again in the future, I hope. Goodbye. Thanks for tuning in. This was Kurt Farrell. I don't know what I'm calling my YouTube channel. Eat It Kurtz. This is Kurt Farrell from Eat It Kurtz. Signing off. Goodbye. Have a good night. We will be full momentarily. Thank you.